Hi, this is Nanette Hosenfeld at the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Friday, June 12th, 2015. So taking a look at the next few days, there again are no significant fire potential impacts in the forecast. Gusty winds are forecast to develop across southern Idaho this afternoon, but relative humidities will generally remain high enough that these winds shouldn't pose too much of a problem. Right now it is looking like later next week there is the potential for gusty winds to develop again. And at that point, conditions may be a bit drier. So again, definitely something to keep your eyes on moving into next week. Taking a look at the precipitation, you can see over the past 24 hours, much of the Great Basin has received precipitation. The areas that received the most were southeastern Utah and portions of central and western Nevada. And the interesting thing here is that southwestern Idaho has really been pretty dry over the past few weeks. They haven't been getting the precipitation that much of the rest of the Great Basin has seen. Looking ahead at the precipitation forecast, there is some precipitation that is still expected to fall, but not in the quantities that we've seen over the past few days. So this afternoon we'll see a bit of rain, and we'll talk more about that in detail in a minute. So here's the water vapor satellite for today. There is a low pressure system that's making its way out of the Great Basin, and a larger low pressure system over Canada that will influence our weather. Significant fire potential is low today due to the moisture that we have received. So taking a look at the weather, the image on the left shows areas that are forecast to receive rain with thunderstorms today. So you can see much of Utah and portions of southern Nevada are expected to see showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. As I mentioned earlier, we will see some gusty winds this afternoon. The image on the right highlights the areas where those winds will develop. So really, south central Idaho is going to see the strongest winds, maybe portions of northwestern Utah. It's looking like wind gusts will be up to around 30 miles an hour. Now, if relative humidity was lower, this would be a major concern. But since it is still expected to be relatively moist, hopefully these winds will not pose too much of an issue. On Saturday, drier air moves into the Great Basin, and that will result in decreased coverage of showers and thunderstorms. Winds will be lighter on Saturday. On Sunday, moisture does increase a bit, and again on Sunday we will see some showers and thunderstorms. These will mainly be in the afternoon and tied to the higher terrain. Now I included a temperature forecast map on here because temperatures will be quite warm by Sunday. You can see southern Nevada will be over 100 degrees, and many of the valley locations in the Great Basin will be in the mid to upper 90s. On Monday, moisture increases across northern Utah and southern Idaho, and this will bring an increase in rain across these areas Monday afternoon into Monday evening. On Tuesday, that dry air moves back in place, and by Wednesday, dry conditions will be expected across the entire Great Basin. ERCs across the Great Basin are still below the 50th percentile. You can see in the map on the right that the raw stations in much of Utah and Nevada are trending downwards, and that's largely in part to the rain that we received. For fuel moisture today, I included the graphs of the sagebrush samples that are above normal. So most of the stations in Utah are right at normal or a little below, but here are a few places that are above normal for the time of year. So Idaho, you can see the Dubois sample is above normal. Same with Lewis Canyon in central Nevada and Tweedy in northwestern Arizona. So these are a couple of stations that are above normal. The Climate Prediction Center is calling for above average temperatures for a portion of the Great Basin and below average precipitation for the northern part of the Great Basin in the 8 to 14 day period. So that's it. If you have any questions, let us know. Our contact information is on the screen, and you can also find us on Twitter. Thanks.